Always a special feel on any campus when it's homecoming. For today's matchup, it's a Monmouth team that comes in flying at 5-1. They'll try and defend their new stadium one more time against a Liberty team, which has been Jekyll and Hyde through their first 6. Big South College football, next on ESPN. It is a picture-perfect Saturday afternoon for mid-October. 3-3 Liberty invading the Garden State, taking off a Monmouth team that kicks off year number 4 in the Big South. Hi, everyone. Alongside with Eddie Acapinti, I'm Matt Harmon. So good to be back with you here in West Long Branch, New Jersey. Eddie, let's look first at this Liberty team. 3-3, 3 wins, 3 losses. What is this team all about?
Yeah, Matt, I don't think anyone really knows what Liberty's all about right now. Turner Gill is still trying to find the answers. They began the season with a win against Baylor, but in their most recent contest fell in their Big South opener to Kennesaw State. They fell behind the Owls 35-7 before mounting a huge second-half comeback, but they ultimately fell short. Now, after a 5-1 start for this Monmouth team, it gets serious. The Hawks really trying to make a move in Big South football. Well, this team wants to leave its mark on the program in year number 25 of football here at Monmouth. Last year, they went winless in Big South play. Different attitude, different group of young men for head coach Kevin Callahan. As you said, 5-1, including winners of 3 straight. Key to any matchup, the quarterback play, and we've got a pair of super sophomores for you to look at. Let's kick it off with Liberty Stephen Calvert. He loves to throw the football. He's got a quick release, and he's got a multitude of weapons. Well, this Liberty receiving core is as good as it gets, not just in the Big South, but in all of FCS football. They've got players that can stretch the field, and the guy that makes it all go for them is Stephen Calvert. The sophomore is very accurate, especially on the move, and he was phenomenal against this Monmouth team a season ago, throwing for a Liberty Flames freshman record in that game. Matt, they're struggling. He has been good, though, hasn't turned the football over a lot, and can make plays with his arm downfield. And meanwhile, for Monmouth, the sophomore Kenji Bahar, he's been very efficient. He's got a fantastic running game to lean on. He really does, right? And a tremendous offensive line, a veteran offensive line. But Kenji Bahar has been able to make plays down the field with his arm. He's got a lot of weapons as well that we'll get into during our broadcast. But Monmouth is a team that wants to run the football first, and then we'll look to go up top. Bahar's been able to make the play down the field with his arm, as well as throw it into some tight spots when it gets near the goal line. The coaching matchup that we have here today, an interesting one. Turner Gill in his 6th year here for Liberty. The Flames making the transition from FCS football to FBS football. I think what they're trying to figure out is where the program sits right now. Yeah, Matt, they're in that transition stage, and it is appropriately named that because they're trying to figure themselves out. Turner Gill with a huge pedigree. The former Nebraska quarterback has been a longtime Division I head football coach. But like you said, they're at a crossroads now, not just this season, but as a program. But they definitely are trending upward heading to FBS next year. 25 years of Monmouth football, 25 years of the head coach, Kevin Callahan. The only head coach that Monmouth football has known. He's seen a handful of players go into the NFL. The things that jump off about Kevin Callahan, the organization, he has built this program literally from the ground up, from a team that didn't exist to now playing full scholarship FCS football in a beautiful new facility. Game number 7 for both of these teams. For the Hawks, it's their Big South opener on homecoming day. We'll get it up and going when we return after this quick timeout. The opening kickoff right around the corner, coming up next from the Garden State on ESPN.
The Hardee's Sausage and Egg Biscuit. Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
The running of the Bulldogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico.
Do it.
the Hardee's Sausage and Egg Biscuit. Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
Monmouth in the all-blue uniforms today with the silver helmets. Liberty wearing their white jerseys today, red pants and the red helmets. With Eddie Acapinti, I'm Matt Harmon. Welcome here to Big South Football on ESPN3. Hawks with their season opener within the league. Liberty coming in off a loss to Kennesaw State a week ago. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Susie Milano.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, for Monmouth, Marcus Leslie is still out with that lower body injury that he suffered back versus Hampton. But good news for the Hawks, Pete Guerrero is back in. He suffered a lower body injury versus Bucknell, but that is great for that Monmouth offense. And for Liberty, wide receiver Damian King will be back in. Back to you guys.
High end over end kickoff off the foot of Matt White will sail over the head of Frankie Hickson. And we will get a look at this Liberty offense, which comes in averaging just over 32 points per game. The sophomore Stephen Calvert, the two-time Big South Player of the Week so far, had a monster game in that shocking win over Baylor to open up the season. Went 44 of 60 for 447 yards, 3 touchdowns. Calvert, the 6'2", 180-pound sophomore out of Plantation, Florida. You see his numbers on the year. Quick throw, that's what he likes to do. 16 touchdowns and 5 interceptions on the year. Monmouth will start with a 3-man down line. Bubble screen set up to Antonio Gandy Golden, 6'4", 200-pound sophomore. Eddie, he's a dangerous guy on the outside.
We've got 2 receivers in this game that will play on Sundays. Antonio Gandy Golden from Liberty, Reggie White Jr. from Monmouth. Matt, I've been looking forward to watching Gandy Golden play all week long. Here's
the inside carry. It will go to Carrington Mosley, one of the top backs in the Big South. The redshirt senior able to slam forward, get into Monmouth territory to the 48-yard line. It is a Liberty offense that you look at the offensive line. Dante Duff, the guy that really this team has to lean on. He's a returning starter, redshirt sophomore, anchors things. And then you talk about that wide receiver core, Farrow, Gandy Golden, King, as good as any trio in all of FCS football.
Yeah, we're going to look at that matchup a little bit later on. The strength of this Liberty team, their receivers, the strength of Monmouth's team, the running backs.
Calvert on the move at the 40-yard line. He will find his man. That is Gandy Golden, who's got his second catch of the day, about an 8.5-yard pickup, and Liberty going quick here in the opening drive.
In their win against Baylor, Matt, they ran over 100 plays. They want to get as many off as they can.
They will again go quick. It will be Damian King who will haul it in. No gain on the play. At the 40-yard line, you're looking at 3rd down and 2 for Liberty. Flames 3 straight wins to open up the year. Beat Baylor, then at home at Williams Stadium against Morehead State and Indiana State. Losses to Jacksonville State, St. Francis, Pennsylvania, Kennesaw State, all in a row.
This is where they've struggled, is when obvious running downs, they've got to pick up 2 or 3. They can run the football if they stay committed.
They will keep it on the ground here. It will be Mosley. Good cutback at the 30-yard line. Keeps his feet, 25. At the 20. Going far side numbers, and he is wrapped up inside the 10 with a late flag coming in. Believe it's going to be a face mask on Monmouth. Well, they're going to call a hold downfield was the signal, thrown just inside the 10. It was a gain of over 30, but they'll be marched back 10 from the spot of the football.
It'll be a spot penalty, so that's way downfield, but it sets Liberty up not ideally where they want it to be after that long run from Mosley. Matt Todd Macon is working his way back from injury. I think Carrington Mosley is one of the more underrated running backs in the Big South. He is really good. He's got good burst, and you saw it on that play.
Take the penalty back. It will be 1st down and 10 for Liberty. Ball sitting right now at the Monmouth 18-yard line. A little more than 2 minutes in to our opening quarter. Calvert out of the pistol. This is Mosley stretching it left side. He'll get pushed out after about a 1-yard pickup. Anthony Budd, the young safety, up to make the stop.
One of handful of true freshmen that sees time for this Monmouth defensive side. Nice job by Bud, standing up Mosley, who is a load at about 225 pounds. When he's running downhill on you, look out.
2nd down and 9. Calvert has Mosley to his right. Gets the snap, quick throw over the middle. Gandy Golden had it and then will drop the football. It is ruled as a fumble. Picked up by Monmouth. Coming back across the field is Mike Basile, who will be credited for the fumble recovery. Everybody kind of stopped there thinking that was going to be an incompletion. Basile, the only guy who kept going. And if it holds up, Monmouth will have it 1st and 10 from out at their own 30-yard line.
Well, Mike Basile didn't hear a whistle, and that's the key. He looked around even once he picked the football up and wasn't sure what was going on. So Gandy Golden with the catch. We're going to have to take a look at that slowed down a bit, because he definitely makes the catch, Matt, but does he have it long enough to make a football move? That's what I'm going to want to take a look at and see.
Well, this will be an official replay. We will take a timeout. We'll come back with your answer. We'll see if it's Monmouth football or does Liberty hang on to it.
Rules hype, where teamwork triumphs and hard work reigns supreme. This is what happens when a hunger for success meets a relentless drive to be great. This is where nothing is given and excellence is earned. This is the Big South, where winners are made.
Rushing the party in under an hour. Supermom's headed for the snack aisle. Ooh, this one's a scramble. It's all come down to this. Look at that air. She's got it. And there's that signature double pour. Crispy chips, crunchy pretzels. This crowd's gone crazy.
We did it, honey. Best party ever.
Yeah, we did it.
Us, go for the glory.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Monmouth and Liberty in West Long Branch, New Jersey. There's the referee, Jeff McConaughey, who's over right now talking with Turner Gill. Let's see where this replay takes us. As close to a 50-50 as you will see.
It happened very quickly. And our official's mic doesn't work, but Matt, the correct call was made. It looked like, to me, at full speed, that it should have been an incomplete pass, and it is an incomplete pass. You see Stephen Calvert, he'll slot the ball in to Gandy Golden. He'll make 1.5 steps before he's popped by Diego Zubieta, and then the ball pops out. I actually like the mechanics of the call, Matt, where the officials ruled turnover to then go take a look, because you can go review a turnover. If you rule it incomplete right away, it takes away all replay. But the correct call was made. That was an incomplete pass.
With the tackle, Zubieta shake it up. He's being tended to on the sideline, so Calvert gets another shot on what will be 3rd and 9. This still the opening drive for Liberty. Now 3 minutes into our opening quarter. Frankie Hickson, number 23, is checked in at the running back spot.
One of 3 guys. They'll rotate back there. Hickson is a very dangerous receiver out of the backfield.
Calvert looking right, throwing all the way across his body. That catch is made just inside the 10. That will be, I believe, a first down, as that last final stretch by Damian King able to make it 1st and goal.
And King left that Kennesaw game with an injury. Good to see him out there and running around. He's the chain mover for this Liberty receiving corps.
On the ground, it's Hickson off the right side. Good open field tackle made by Mike Basile, a name that Monmouth fans very familiar with. He comes in to today's game with 376 tackles in his career. He is Monmouth's all-time leader in that category.
And he's going up that Big South career chart as well.
2nd and goal. This is Hickson, able to walk his way into the end zone, and opening drive right down the field for Liberty, who will go up 6-0.
First rushing touchdown of the season for Frankie Hickson, the team's 2nd leading rusher, finds his way into the end zone. He is an explosive player. He hasn't, Matt, had the start to the year that he wants, only averaging 3.3 yards a carry. But Frankie Hickson, who also returns kicks, is incredibly explosive.
Alex Probert, preseason All-American as a place kicker, on to continue what's been a fantastic start to his year. He has 23 out of 23 with point afters so far this year. He'll work out of the hold of backup wide receiver Spencer Jones. Hunter Winstead, also a preseason All-American, is the long snapper. Good opening drive, 10 plays, 75 yards for Liberty. Took up 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That kick is up, and it is good. Well, the Flames offense, which has been up and down all during the course of the year, they've got a lot of weapons. It's Hickson to get the Flames on the board first.
What's the Big South?
It's our home.
Our home.
Rooted in excellence.
Built
from hard work.
It's our backbone.
An undeniable will.
Driven to surpass our potential.
It's our heart.
Unbreakable bonds.
And our journey. Striving for more.
Determined to lead.
Day in
and day out.
This is the Big South, where winners are made.
NCAA Division I FCS football is a game of perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship. As he works to honor the game, every FCS student-athlete grows in his responsibilities as a student and as a member of his campus and community. Dedicated to personal growth and success in the classroom, the NCAA Division I FCS, every down, every day.
Rise and shine, people. It's your perfect day. A chance to find inspiration and prepare for the future. To build lasting relationships and push the limit harder than before. This is your today, and it couldn't be more perfect. Until tomorrow, when it happens again.
Suburban Transit, driven with pride. The Asbury Park Press is a proud sponsor of the Monmouth Hawks. Pick up your copy of the press today and subscribe at APP.com. Monmouth University thanks all of their sponsors and supporters.
Ten-play, 75-yard drive for Liberty to open up a very good start for the Flames offensively, who, as we said, averaging over 32 points per game. Eddie, a fantastic stat here. When Liberty is 500 or more yards, they've won all three. If they're less than 400 yards, they've lost all three. 75 yards already in the first quarter.
It's a pretty telling stat, and like you said, they're off to a tremendous start already on that 10-play, 75-yard drive right down the field. If you remember this matchup a season ago, Liberty went for 600 in that game and scored over 50.
High end-over-end kick. This will be returnable for Monmouth. At the 20, far side, Guerrero 35-40, keeps his feet at midfield. Continuing to go, slips through one more tackle, 20-15, 10-5, dives to the end zone. Did he get the pylon? He did. Pete Guerrero, the freshman track star, doing something he is very accustomed to. That is winning the 100-yard dash as he goes from one end of the field to the other and puts 6 on the board for Monmouth.
Well, he's missed some time with an injury, but that bye week came at a perfect time. Guerrero, sparkling return, outrunning everyone. We've seen him do the job at the running back position. This was just pure speed and skill. Looked about a 95-yarder. In, out, great blocking. The wedge did its job. And then once Guerrero makes that move at midfield and gets to the sideline, you're not going to catch him. 2-5 is too fast. And Monmouth's kicking for a tie game.
It will be Matt Mascara who is on to attempt this extra point. Shares the kicking chores with White. What a story for Guerrero so far. He's already been recognized as the freshman of the week in all of FCS football. He's been recognized by the Big South a couple of times. Known better as a running back, but they'll usually let him return a kick or two per game. And a good decision for the Hawks coaching staff. 7-7, we're square. Still early in the first.
From 2 stories to 20. From ready apps to emergency response. From your community to a nationwide network. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVE-PRO. Everything under your roof, everyone under ours. Helping to make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
First Monmouth, then the entire Jersey Shore. Now, World Subaru is proud to announce being the #1 Subaru dealer in all of Central and South Jersey for a 3rd year in a row. Oh, by the way, we're the most loved Subaru dealer too. That's because our exclusive VIP program includes free oil changes, tire rotations, loaner cars, car washes, and much more. Congratulations, Monmouth University, on 25 years of Monmouth football. Here's to a great season from all of us at World Subaru. WorldSubaru.com.
Special teams always a huge part of an even game. September 4th, 2010, that was the last time Monmouth had one of these. A kickoff return for a touchdown. That was a 90-yarder against Colgate. Partner, a 95-yard run here for Pete Guerrero.
Great blocking, bad tackling, and that's the reason that this game is tied at 7. Is Pete Guerrero, his first game back from a bit of an injury. Matt had an explosive start to this year. He came into the game with over 400 yards rushing, but he's made some big plays in the kick return game as well, averaging almost 30 a return. That'll add to that total.
Monmouth 7, Liberty 7. Flame offense with just had a 75-yard touchdown scoring drive. We'll come back on here. There's Stephen Calvert, the 6'2", 180-pound sophomore. He starts the day 224 yards away from 4,000 in his career.
Extra impressive considering he's not even halfway through, or just over halfway through his second season.
On the ground, it's Mosley, grabbed there by the junior corner, Tymir Berry from nearby Toms River, New Jersey.
You know, Matt, you don't want to say there's a bad thing, right, to returning a kickoff for a touchdown, but here's if you're Liberty, what you're looking at is a Monmouth defense that just let you go down the field 10 plays in 75, and you're right back out there. So we still haven't seen Monmouth's offense yet.
Calvert will roll and will find Antonio Gandy Golden, who's already been able to pick apart the Monmouth defense. 3 catches so far for the sophomore. It's a Hawk defense which has been good against the run, has struggled against the pass. They're worst right now in the Big South. Mike Basile, the All-American, Agbayaroha guy that they're happy to have back, was injured earlier. He's kind of that flex guy, listed as a linebacker, but really more like a safety.
And Liberty has a similar player. Both teams play a 4-2-5, but they call it a 4-3.
3rd and 6. Swung in the flat. Mosley runs through the tackle of Martinez, enough to get a first down out to the 37.
We've seen so far 2 of the 3-headed running back monster for Liberty in the backfield. Mosley getting that first down. Hickson with the touchdown. Expect to see a heavy dose of Todd Macon again, who's working his way back from injury. He's an all-conference guy.
This is Mosley again, stretching it off right side, wrapped up 35-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2. It's a Liberty team. If you look at their numbers offensively, they average 433 yards, 118 on the ground, which isn't a lot when you compare it to 315 through the air. But you listen to Turner Gill, this is a team that wants desperately to run the football.
Well, they want to run the ball. It's just, Matt, their strength as a program lies with their receivers and with their quarterback. They've got good running backs, but they haven't been able to consistently produce in the running game, or at least stay true to it for 4 full quarters.
They are 6th in terms of all teams running the football. There's Calvert flipping it towards the sideline. Was under heavy pressure. Zach Talley, who's a rush end specialist, providing the pressure.
And Calvert's going to break contain, and he flips it. Matt, how's that not intentional grounding? There's no receiver in the area. The ball didn't make it to the line of scrimmage. That looked like textbook intentional grounding.
Or a fumble.
Right. I mean, the ball was going, he threw it forward. I know that. It wasn't really evident, though. I think Liberty got the benefit of that no call there.
3rd and 12. Flames 43% of the year on 3rd down conversion. Calvert running over the middle. Mosley drops the football. He would have, I think, had enough to get a first down. Probably was looking upfield before he locked in the football. And Monmouth here able to hold and force a Liberty punt.
And Mosley had 1 3rd down catch on this drive. He makes a great move here to shed the Monmouth backer, and then not able to control. If he makes that catch and turns around, he's got a lot of green in front of him.
Kamau Dumas will await the punt of Trey Turner, who averages just over 38 per kick. Dumas, a dangerous return man, among the better returners in league. No pressure. Wobbly kick. Dumas will call for and make a fair catch back inside the 30-yard line. So we will finally, now with 8:39 to go in the opening quarter, get a look at this Monmouth offense.
We discussed Kenji Bahar in our open and what he means at the quarterback position, but the strength of this group is the 5 veterans up front. Monmouth returns their entire offensive line, as there is Bahar, the sophomore from Baltimore, who's having a very good start to his first full season as the Monmouth starter.
And very efficient. His completion percentage leads the Big South, top 10 in the nation in FCS football. He'll get the snap here. Give it to Guerrero off the right side. And Guerrero will get dragged down by Jalen McKinney, the redshirt sophomore middle linebacker. One thing you've got to keep an eye on with Guerrero, even in a simple play like that, if he gets upfield, he could go.
Once he gets that crease, you saw it on the kick return for a touchdown, he can go. He'll rotate with a few other Hawks at the running back position as you take a look at the Monmouth offense. But Guerrero had such a strong start to the season. Eric Zakori and Michael Jolly and DeVell Jones have played nice roles for this team as well. But Guerrero's the home run threat.
Good down and distance here on 2nd and 4. Bahar will let it fly. He's got Reggie White Jr. into the Monmouth sideline. He will make the grab in Liberty territory out at the 49-yard line. On the season, that is the 40th reception for White.
So we talk Antonio Gandy Golden leading that Liberty receiving core on the one side, but Reggie White Jr. on the other side, Matt, is going to play on Sundays. He's a big target. He's a good route runner. You saw it on that play there, making the hard break to the sideline and able to secure the catch. He is a really, really good player at this level of football.
Part of it trips off to the right side. On the ground, it's Guerrero again. Guerrero will get 9, close to 10 on that first down carry. Talk about that veteran offensive line. Alex Thompson, the man in the middle. He starts his 39th game today. Matt Stoneberg, the left tackle, starts his 31st game in a row for Monmouth. Those guys are really the two anchors of what's been a very good offensive line.
Yeah, and that last play also, Russ Clayton at right tackle completely plowed that hole for Guerrero, and a ton of room on that right side as he was able to get close to first down yardage.
Liberty showing pressure. Bahar, run pass option. This is Vinny Grasso, the crafty senior, able to take it forward. For Grasso, his 19th catch of the season. He is a prototypical slot receiver in this Monmouth offense.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Plays either side of the formation. He'll play strong or weak, and he's able to really make moves. You know, Vinny Grasso better in a phone booth than he is, Matt, anywhere else. He's so compact, close to the ground, great hands, and he really has become that third down target for Kenji Bahar.
Offenses have dominated in the early going here, first quarter. Bahar wanting to throw, looking, he's got a man wide open, can't hang on to the football. It was thrown just behind Reggie White Jr., who couldn't adjust in time to grab the football. Missed chance for Monmouth to get 6 on the board.
You can hear the crowd kind of crescendo because at the top of this route, on the double move, Reggie White Jr. is wide open on the out and up. And yes, it was a little bit behind. It was behind him. But, Matt, that's a catch that a receiver the caliber of Reggie White Jr. has to pull down.
Made that double move against Jimmy Fox, who plays today and gets the start ahead of Chris Turner. They've had a good battle back and forth. It's a Liberty team that we will probably see 4 corners play during the course of the day today. Big hole up the middle, Zakori. Inside the 5, the freshman dives forward. Touchdown, Monmouth. 5th rushing score of the year for Eric Zakori. He is part of a 4-headed running attack that has extreme talent, and the Hawks, for the first time today, able to get the lead.
Guerrero got the early season headlines, but when he missed time with an injury, it was Eric Zakori, the true freshman, who came in and really carried the bulk of the Monmouth rushing load. That's touchdown number 5 for him on the season. And after that made extra point, Matt, he's now nearing 300 total yards himself. He has been so good. Him and Guerrero, a 2-headed freshman monster in the backfield.
Mascara with the extra point to make it 14-7 Monmouth. So we better tell the defenses there's a football game going on right now.
Well, partner, I hope you didn't make dinner reservations or anything after this game. We thought we could be in for a shootout coming into this one. And right now, we are just past halfway through the first quarter with 21 total points scored. Strap in. It's going to be a long afternoon and a fun one at that.
Well, you're talking about a Monmouth team that enters today averaging 34 points per game, tops in the Big South. A Liberty team just over 32, third in the Big South. So points not an issue for either one of these teams during the course of the season. And for Monmouth, Eddie, you could really make the argument that in terms of Big South football, this is their biggest game in the 4 years they've been part of the league, because, okay, 5-1 in the non-conference, but are you ready to step up and I'll say play with the big boys in the league?
Well, this team, Matt, has been very good in the non-conference, but as you said, they've struggled in the Big South. We'll finish the point in a second.
This one will drift out. That will draw a penalty flag.
So since Monmouth has joined the Big South, they're 4-11 overall. Last season, the 0-5 is, I think, what was the kind of waking up point for Kevin Callahan and this core of veterans that comes back. They've been focused more this season. Some of the great young players he's brought in, like Eric Zakori in the middle of your screen, has helped really, I think, Matt, change the attitude for this team. And Monmouth has defeated this Liberty team as well, and that was a couple of years ago, last time the Flames came up to New Jersey.
It was the only win for Monmouth at that point over a ranked opponent. First down and 10 for Calvert off the penalty. Flames will take over the 35-yard line. Good play action, rolling left, plenty of time over the middle. Looking for the big tight end, Fidel O'Bafin. Little too much zip on that one from Calvert. If you look at Calvert and talking with Turner Gill during the week, he's a pocket passer. He likes to stay in, and this is a design rollout. He's just not really as comfortable moving around. Give here is to Todd Macon, the redshirt senior, who's back off of injury, suffered a pretty good one during the course of the spring, missed the first couple of games, played finally last week against Kennesaw State.
Calvert's played in this system his whole career. In Florida, he was a tremendous spread quarterback, and he did miss high. And talking to the Liberty folks, when Stephen Calvert does miss, it is high. He's got to set the feet, drive the football in there. He wanted on that play, Matt, B.J. Farrow deep. Monmouth freshman Justin Terry had tremendous coverage on the back end.
3rd down and 7. Creeping down towards the 5:20 mark in the first quarter. Monmouth showing pressure. Here comes Aroha off the edge. This just chucked up in the air. Calvert knew he was coming. Couldn't do anything to get around Aroha, the senior from Union, New Jersey, and Liberty for the 2nd consecutive series has to punt the football. So a great start for Liberty offensively. They took the opening drive and went right down the field, 11 plays, 75 yards. Since that point, they've had to punt now twice.
Well, last game, they started slow against Kennesaw State. That's where they went right down the field and let the Owls come way back in that game, but they scored on the game's first possession. They jumped in front 7-0 against Kennesaw before that triple option Owls attack, which leads FCS football in rushing, took a commanding lead in that game. So Turner Gill, what was his message during the week? It's consistency, searching for more consistency from his team. And this is a different Monmouth team than Liberty has seen the last few years, no question about it.
Liberty dominating the overall series, leading 3-1. They beat Monmouth last year 52-28. Went up big in that game, 21-0. They led early in the second quarter.
I mean, dare we say it wasn't as close as the final score? Remember, Monmouth made a late run in that game.
Bobbled snap. It winds up to Guerrero, who I think was going to get it anyway from Bahar. He'll gain 2, make it 2nd down and 8.
If you remember that game, Stephen Calvert, Matt, threw for 350 yards. But an underrated point in that game, Kenji Bahar came in relief. He wasn't the starter full-time a season ago. He led Monmouth to 3 touchdown drives in the second half in that game. Really was the springboard to him being the starter this season.
2nd down, 8. On the ground again. Big hole again. Guerrero with a 1st down. Right now, Monmouth gashing that Liberty defense, which starts in that 4-2-5. They've got fantastic guys at the end.
You're running behind a veteran offensive line. Matt, I'm not confident enough, but I think I could even run through the hole that Pete Guerrero just had in front of him, that Alex Thompson and company paved for him up front.
That was a good shot of Thompson getting downfield and picking off not 1, but 2 Liberty defenders.
He's one of the best.
4-man front for the Flames. On the ground again. Guerrero, another good hole again. Delivers a boom as that tackle set to be made. Guerrero not known for maybe the power part of football, but he just introduced himself to Ryan Davis, the redshirt sophomore.
You know about the speed of Guerrero, reading the blocks, but then look out below, coming downhill. Guerrero put the shoulder into Davis. This Monmouth offensive line right now, Matt, is winning. They're winning at the point of attack. And right now, Monmouth is getting over 10 yards per play and doing a lot of it on the ground.
There is a player down for Liberty, Solomon McGinty, number 20, the outside linebacker. Very impressive start offensively here for this Monmouth offense. You know, let's talk Liberty a little bit. We said their year's been up and down, and they are kind of in a unique spot. They are ineligible for the Big South Championship. They are ineligible if they had the record at the end of the season to go to the FCS playoffs even as an independent, and they knew both of those things going in. Turner Gill very openly admitted it's a unique situation for us. Not worried about the motivation of his team, but if you know going into the year you can't qualify for anything, there might be a little bit of a different mindset.
And that makes sense, right? For the roller coaster ride they've been on, you go 3-0, then you lose 3 straight, and that does kind of play into it. That's tough, you know, and that's why coaches are coaches, and why they make the big bucks, because they've got to do the job every week, week in and week out, of motivating a team, whether it's for first place in the conference or just to go and win a game. But I'll say it, Matt, it's not as big a deal as maybe a team changing locations, but I'll tell you what, that's a pretty big task that Turner Gill and his staff has, trying to keep that group motivated for the entire season, like you said, because there's no playoffs at the end.
1st and 10. Bahar wants to go to the air, looking over the middle. Overshoots Lonnie Moore, who's off to a good start as well, the redshirt freshman. Bahar now 2 of 4. There is that defense. Was just starting to talk about it. Brown and Wells really good off the edge. And this is a team that relies on Jeremy Peters from the corner spot to kind of be the leader of that secondary.
He does a lot, and he can come up and run support. He can cover on the back end. That last play, Bahar just missed Lonnie Moore. Made a great move at the top of the route on a fake out and move in.
2nd and 10. Guerrero will get it, hit in the backfield. Struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. Like Brandon Tillman up from the safety spot. He and Corbin Jackson. Jackson today, he's been starting at free safety. He's moved up into that hybrid linebacker safety spot. He's changed positions with Ryan Davis, who becomes the free safety today.
Interesting down and distance for Monmouth, where the ball is at the 40 of Liberty. Maybe 4 down territory if they can pick up some yardage here.
3rd and 11. Bahar, here comes pressure. Looking to the flat. He'll get it to Grasso at the 34-yard line. This, I think, will make it an easy decision to go for it on what will amount to about 4th and 6.
Yeah, they pick up about half the yardage. Grasso will stay on the sideline and watch. They're going to bring in the big tight end, Jake Powell, number 17. Preseason all-league selection. A big moment here. Monmouth up by a score. This would be a big stop for Liberty if they could go out and get themselves off the field.
Reggie was in the backfield. White will now set himself as a slot receiver. They'll look in his direction, Monmouth will. They'll motion him out. They'll find him. He'll take it to the 25-yard line for a 1st down.
Yeah, that's great play design by Kevin Morris. You put Reggie White Jr. in the backfield, you motion him out. Who picks him up? It's going to be a linebacker. And if Monmouth gets one-on-one with Reggie White Jr. and someone playing linebacker, whether it's a converted safety or not for Liberty, that's a win for Monmouth more times than not.
1st and 10. Hawks will continue this drive. This will be the 8th play of this drive, which is moving us into the later part of this 1st quarter. Bahar looking, wants Reggie White Jr., who will make the catch, but was out of bounds. Couldn't get a foot in. The coverage there was from the veteran Peters, and it will bring up a 2nd and 10.
And Peters did a nice job using the boundary as his ally. Reggie White Jr. is a big, physical wide receiver, so you need everything out there that you can have help. Bahar looking one way the whole time. Likes the single coverage, just ran out of real estate. And Peters did a nice job again, kind of running Reggie White Jr. that way.
Makes sense for Peters. He is listed as the boundary corner as they play sides here in this Liberty defense. Bahar going to roll this time. Right side, zings it, but behind and short for the true freshman Joey Alderelli. Now bringing up a 3rd down and 10. Same question as the 3rd and 11. Is this 4 down territory maybe for Monmouth?
It's going to be close. You know, I think it'll depend, like we saw with the previous situation, what they pick up here. A lot will be dictated by this play call. Again, big moment here both ways. This game had track meet written all over it. Things have settled down just a minute. And Liberty's going to flood the field, Matt. They're going to stand up all 11. Makes it difficult to identify where the blitz is coming from.
Monmouth has not attempted a field goal past 40 yards. They'll try and avoid it, and they will here with a sliding catch made by Reggie White Jr. down to the 12. That's a 1st down and a new set of downs for Monmouth to work with. You said You think he's going to play on Sunday. He certainly has the pedigree to do it. His father did as well.
His dad did it, and he wasn't the Minister of Defense, Reggie White, the Hall of Famer from the University of Tennessee. But Reggie's father did play in the NFL, played with the San Diego Chargers when they went to the Super Bowl back in the mid-90s. Also bounced around the league, so he does have the pedigree.
Less than a minute to go. Reverse is set up. Here's Lonnie Moore trying to throw it into another gear. Slips through a couple of tackles and gets in to the end zone for a touchdown. Into the bag of tricks goes the Monmouth offense, and it will result with 6 more on the board.
And that was the product of 2 things. It was one, Lonnie Moore's speed and quickness to split 2 Liberty players right near the line of scrimmage. And then the second phase was that veteran offensive line clearing the path down the field to get into the end zone. It was Moore's speed and then the big guys up front that ultimately pushed him in.
For Lonnie Moore, that will be his first touchdown as a collegiate player, redshirted a year ago. Extra point tacked on. It's 21-7, Monmouth.
Let's take a look at the play again. Watch the 2 points. Right here, Liberty's got it played well. And Moore is just too quick as he splits the 2 defenders and gets into the end zone. It was Tillman who was barreling down on him, as well as De'Avante Brown. Yeah, Matt, if Lonnie Moore's not as quick as he is, he's dropped for a loss in the backfield. He needed the quickness. The line had to do a nice job pushing down the field, and then they were able to get into the end zone. What has been the key right now? That Monmouth offensive line has been leaning on this Liberty front. That last week, Matt got gashed by Kennesaw State. The offensive line, those 5 are important, but partner, the thing I'm going to keep an eye on all game is each team's respective big 4s. Monmouth's running back quartet of Pete Guerrero, Eric Sikori, Michael Jolly, and DeVell Jones have combined for those numbers on the left, which are eye-popping. But then you look at what Liberty's big 4 receivers have done. We mentioned King and Gandy Golden earlier. B.J. Farrow and Cephas Reddick have been great as well. I'm going to keep an eye, partner, on both sets of those 4 players all afternoon long.
High end-over-end kick. This will be returned out of the end zone. Hickson gets dragged down inside the 20. There was a flag that was thrown. This will be an illegal block. It will be against Liberty, and it will back the Flames up even deeper.
Early on in this game, this is going to be a very big drive for Stephen Calvert and Liberty. Lonnie Moore just got into the end zone for Monmouth's 3rd score, including their 2nd long drive of the game. So now Calvert and company come out. They fell behind last week against Kennesaw. They don't want to have a similar fate happen in this game. So they're going to have a long way to go. But again, they feature such dangerous players on the outside.
Calvert now backed up inside his 10. From the 8. Here's the carry inside for Mosley. He's able to get Liberty a little bit of breathing room. Good gain on 1st down. Just about 5. Make it 2nd and 5. Liberty does not have to snap it again if they choose not to. But they will keep this offense on. Kennedy, the H-back, sets the edge left side. Calvert on the move. Throws to the far sideline. B.J. Farrow, the redshirt junior, able to haul it in. That will give the Flames a 1st down, and that will take us to the end of what has been an entertaining 1st quarter. 28 total points. It's 21-7 Monmouth. Hawks enjoying homecoming so far.
Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
The running of the Bull Dogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico.
Hardee's Sausage and Egg Biscuit. Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
We start the second quarter with Monmouth leading at home 21-7 at home on homecoming. We'll check in with Susie Milano in just a second. Let's hold here for the start of what will be this second quarter. Stephen Calvert right to work. He will give it inside to Carrington Mosley. Susie standing by with a report on the crowd for Monmouth.
Very special thing for Monmouth. They've come so far in the past 25 years. It's very special for them to be here, to see all of the fans fill this brand new stadium accompanied by the brand new scoreboard. So exciting, exciting day for the Hawks. Back to you guys.
Calvert looking over the middle. Was this intercepted? No. Off a deflection. Berry had a last chance at it. Will fall incomplete. The intended target was Damian King.
Got word during the quarter break that it is an official sellout here at Kessler Stadium. This group of fans here has been treated to 2 good Monmouth performances early this season. They began the year with a win against Lafayette, win against Lehigh. This, a much different animal though. Very talented Liberty team that Monmouth is in front of right now by 2 scores.
3rd down and 7 for Liberty. Flames 3 of 5 on 1st down so far. Calvert will reset. Plenty of time still on the play clock, down to 10. Has time, lets it go, looks, has a target, catch is made, runs through a tackle. B.J. Farrow near sideline, touchdown Liberty. That will go for 76 yards. And the Flames, just like that, are right back in it.
Now, we've sung the praises of Antonio Gandy Golden, but B.J. Farrow, Matt, has had an accomplished career at Liberty. Stephen Calvert liked the one-on-one matchup on the outside. Farrow beat Kamau Dumas, then went up and high-pointed the football and was able to take it to the house. That was an impressive throw and catch by both the Liberty Flames on that play. As that touchdown will make it a 1-possession game.
Farrow, the redshirt junior, the extra point was missed, so Monmouth will maintain a 21-13 lead. Farrow with his 13th career touchdown.
This is where heart rules height. Where teamwork triumphs and hard work reigns supreme. This is what happens when a hunger for success meets a relentless drive to be great. This is where nothing is given and excellence is earned. This is the Big South, where winners are made.
And it's game on. at that air. She's got it. There's that signature double pour. Crisp chips, crunchy pretzels. This crowd's gone crazy.
We did it, honey. Best party ever.
Yeah, we did it.
Let's go for the glory.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
This Big South Network game is brought to you in part by Hardee's, eat like you mean it. By Ut Snacks, get snacking. And by Geico. Big South alumni could save even more with an alumni discount from Geico. Visit geico.com/Big South today. That Liberty scoring drive, 5 plays, 93 yards. Remember, on the kickoff they got back, they were tagged with a illegal block in the back. They start at their own 7-yard line, and that long touchdown pass, B.J. Farrow being found from Stephen Calvert. Calvert's numbers so far, 8 of 14, 125 yards, and that one score.
What I tell you after the last score, hopefully you can clear your afternoon schedule. I think we're in it for the long haul here this afternoon with Monmouth in front, 21-13. We're not even 1 minute into the second quarter.
Bahar bringing the Monmouth offense back on. This one deflected down. Good pressure coming from Jawan Wells. We had mentioned after that Liberty touchdown, a missed extra point, which you never quite know when it's going to come back to haunt you. We had also sung the praises of Alex Probert, which had been 24 of 24 on his PATs.
Kicking towards that brand new scoreboard here at Monmouth University. Probably threw him off. Last time he was here, it didn't look like that.
2nd down and 10 for Monmouth. On the ground, it's Zakori. Off the left side, Zakori, another big hole. He'll get 11, and it will be a first down. Speaking of the last time that Liberty was here, not just the scoreboard, but a new stadium. Monmouth won that game in overtime, 20-17. It was around the same time period. It was the 17th of October 2 years ago. This is the 5th time that these two teams have played. Monmouth took a trip down when they were an independent and transitioning in to the Big South in September of 2013. Zakori looking for a spot off the left side. He's going to have 10, 11, maybe 12 more yards. Eric Zakori, Pete Guerrero, both having their way right now with this Liberty defense.
Yeah, they're not even getting contacted until 7-8 yards down the field. It's a very different way, obviously, that Monmouth goes about rushing the football than what Liberty's opponent last week, Kennesaw State, did. That's a triple option team that has 3 backs on the field at all times, and we'll talk more about that after this play.
1st and 10 from the Monmouth 48. On the ground, Zakori up the middle. Cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. That play closed down very quick. Tolan Avery, the redshirt junior, 6'4", 270 pounds from Galveston, Texas, with the stop.
He blew that play up from the beginning, and Liberty got into the backfield. Last week, Kennesaw State ran for 498 yards on this Liberty team. They also ran it on 77 of 84 plays. That's what they do but the point holds true. Monmouth's offensive line right now is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 11. Bahar, a lot of time rolling right. Going to change gears, go left. He's going to have the first down and more. Great recognition from the Baltimore, Maryland sophomore, Bahar, who's a little gimpy after that last stop.
Well, it's a design rollout right. They motioned Grasso across the formation. And when Bahar, who had just a ton of time, had nowhere to go with it, but there was nothing but green in front of him back the other way. Alex Thompson was in front of him, and he gained long first down yardage.
All set up based off the point you've been making. Liberty has been unable to really rattle Bahar at all. He had time to roll right, look around, then decide, I'm just going to run left.
He had time to both run it and throw it. That's not exactly easy to do, and Liberty didn't have either play defended.
It'll be Zakori up the middle. He's got another big gain. Zakori might have his second touchdown of the day, and he will. Second today for Zakori, 35 yards. This one will strike. It'll put him over 80 for the day, and the Hawk offense has been darn near dominant in this first half.
Matt, I just don't even understand it right now. Monmouth should only be running maybe 3 plays. They're getting everything they want up front against Liberty. They are running the football at will. Just huge gaping holes in the middle of this Liberty defense.
Good spot, good hold, good kick for Matt Mascara. Eric Zakori, the freshman, he has been involved in 2 of these today. Hawks back up by 15.
What's the Big South?
It's our home.
Our home.
Rooted in excellence.
Built
From hard work. It's our backbone.
An undeniable will.
Driven to surpass our potential. It's our heart.
unbreakable bonds.
And our journey. Striving for more.
Determined to lead.
Day in
and day out.
This is the Big South,
Where winners are made.
NCAA Division I FCS football is a game of perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship. As he works to honor the game, every FCS student-athlete grows in his responsibilities as a student and as a member of his campus and community. Dedicated to personal growth and success in the classroom, the NCAA Division I FCS, every down, every day.
Rise and shine. It's your perfect day. A chance to find inspiration and prepare for the future. To build lasting relationships and push the limit. This is your today. And we couldn't be more different. Until tomorrow, when it happens again.
Well, it's about as good weather-wise as you could hope for here in October for homecoming. 25 years of Monmouth football. Their first homecoming back in October of 1993. That was a loss to Hartwick College. They won it the next year. They are trying to snap a 2-game losing streak on homecoming. 2 Big South games. Kennesaw State last year. The year before, you can remember, they almost upset Coastal Carolina 23-20. At that point, the Chanticleers were the #1 team in the country.
Yeah, that was a big day, remember, a few years ago. Both #1 teams in the country at both the FBS and FCS level were playing in the state of New Jersey. And Monmouth, like you said, almost pulled off a huge upset against the Chanticleers. How about how far this program's come? Homecoming 1 was against Hartwick. Homecoming number 25 is against Liberty. That next year we'll be playing FBS football.
Yeah, they'll make the move up to the Sun Belt Conference. It's a transition, certainly, for Liberty. It will be interesting to see next year. They are making the move to full FBS football. This one is Gandy Golden. He's dropped at the 25-yard line.
Gandy Golden, the ball carrier. Nelson and Cooper combined on the stop. No gain, second down and 10.
Good look at Trey Nelson, the junior linebacker. Calvert, the sophomore, gets the snap. In trouble. Eludes the rush of Aroha. And then has to get rid of it.
It's pretty, and you can see Calvert right now having a word with Hickson, his running back, about the protection. But, you know, Stephen Calvert, Matt, last year as a freshman, played a ton. This year as a sophomore, played a ton. He's going to be the guy that brings Liberty up into FBS football when they enter as an independent next season. And he's a really good quarterback. Right now, just, again, had that long touchdown pass, but on the run there was a bit rattled.
Calvert will dump it off. Short screen was set up for Hickson. Liberty will stay in the Big South for all of their other sports. Coastal Carolina went to the Sun Belt. And Liberty would probably be a team that would love to join where the Chanticleers went, but they'll have to figure it out as an FBS independent, which is not easier. And you look at their future schedules coming up, they've got some huge opponents and really Power 5 conferences that Liberty either will go to or will have visit them in Lynchburg.
Yeah, their schedules are up there for the next couple of years, and they got some interesting home and homes. They're starting a rivalry with Old Dominion, who's an in-state rival for them. The Monarchs made the move up to FBS a couple of years ago, and they are definitely a program on the move. I mean, you don't make the move to FBS without big things in mind, but they'll have to find a home, and I know that's something that's being worked on at their level. But like you said, it'll be independent. They've got some games coming up with Syracuse and Army, West Point and Rutgers. Virginia Tech, I believe, is in discussions as well. Liberty's definitely put itself in a really good spot football-wise. But like we mentioned in the open, now they just have to really figure out what their identity is.
Speaking of expansion, Big South next year will add Campbell and then the University of North Alabama in 2019.
Yeah, the Big South changing too. Believing, Coastal and Liberty have the last handful of years, they really run this league.
Reverse pass set up. Bahar in trouble and will wisely get rid of it.
You'll see Monmouth go to the bag of tricks every so often. They did so earlier with that reverse, but, partner, here's my question to you. I know I'm all about sudden change, and I'm all about the quick reversal.
I'll ask before you do.
Go
Why?
ahead. Running the football at will, and I understand keeping teams off balance, and that's, again, why we are in the broadcast booth and not on the sideline, so believe me, it's not that, but goodness, you're running it at will, at Liberty, downhill, averaging 12 yards a carry.
They will put it back on the ground here, and they will get good yardage again. It will be close to first down yardage for Pete Guerrero.
And you know what? I'm going to answer the question now. Because you can do that. That's why you can run that play on first down, because then you can go out and pick up 7, 8, 9 yards on second down.
10 minutes to play and rolling here in this first half. Monmouth 28, Liberty 13. 3rd and 1 for a Monmouth offense which has had no issue at all moving the football today, especially on the ground. Hawks 232 yards, 172 have been on the ground. Here, however, they will be stalled and dropped. There was that zone read. They brought in DeVell Jones, who is the biggest of the 4 running backs that will often play for Monmouth. 6 foot, 235 pounds. And for the first time today, Liberty kind of selling out and making the play, and it will force Monmouth to punt, though they have not sent the punt team on yet.
Well, Solomon McGinty and Jawan Wells led the charge there. And with the play clock now reading 12, what you're probably going to see is a Kevin Callahan timeout. Because with 4th and 4, your own 34-yard line, most likely not the area at which you want to go for it.
It is a timeout for Monmouth. While we've got a second, we talked already about Liberty winning 3, losing 3. After today, they'll be back on the road. They will take on Gardner-Webb. So they are playing as a Big South team essentially during the course of this year. Those games, of which everyone will play Liberty, do count towards the overall schedule. Flames, as we mentioned, making that transition as an independent to FBS. Some of the conversation that took place and the excitement of Liberty football.
Yeah, Matt, you mentioned it. The Flames do play a Big South schedule, and the games count, but they can't win the Big South. So we came on the air talking about that. They're 0-1 right now in the league. Kennesaw State defeated them last week in a landmark win for the Owls.
Matt White on to punt. This is 4th and 4 for Monmouth. No pressure. White gets off a dandy. Fair catch is called for and made all the way back inside the 15 from B.J. Farrow.
We were in the middle of meetings today and weren't expecting the news today, but we found out about 2 p.m. that the NCAA had granted Liberty's waiver to move in football to FBS status as an independent.
We're just truly grateful to have the opportunity to reclassify from FCS to FBS. It'll be a process that takes place over 2 years.
Well, I got a big smile on my face.
That was Turner Gill, the Liberty head coach, former standout at the University of Nebraska, played for legendary coach Tom Osborne. We'll connect the dots a little bit more after this first down play for the Liberty offense. Trailing 28-13. Calvert 9 of 17 so far. Mosley's got 7 carries for 60 yards, but 35 of those came on one play. Stretching it off left side. Running through a tackle is Matthews. Cantori Matthews, the 5'10 junior from Virginia Beach. You know, Liberty prior to 2015 had never had to play a game in New Jersey, playing here in 2017. They'll be back in 2019. They will play at Rutgers.
Now, one of the home and homes, or rather they'll go to Rutgers. There's some other home and homes featured on that schedule, but they're trying to get those big-time teams to go down to Lynchburg. You and I have been down there for a handful of broadcasts in our time, a first-rate experience and atmosphere down there. But I'll tell you right now, Liberty has its hands full with this Monmouth team, who's played very well, rallying to the football. Teddy Martinez has had a nice season at the safety spot coming up in run support.
This is the 45th year overall for Liberty playing football. 3rd down and 3. 2 down linemen, 2 stand-up ends for Monmouth. Calvert, little slip screen set up right side. The tackle actually moved the receiver forward. Damian King will get a first down for Liberty.
He was going against the flow of play, and like you said, the pursuing players from the other side. It was Anthony Budd as a defensive back, and then also a surge from the defensive line. Did help push him forward, but he had what looked to be pretty close to first down yardage before that happened.
1st and 10 from the 25. Calvert, play action, rolls left, stops, throws, looks over the middle, has King. He will make the catch in front of Teddy Martinez, get the football into Monmouth territory, down to the Hawks 43.
Yeah, and on the play action, King was able to get inside of Teddy Martinez. You're going to get a great look at it from behind Stephen Calvert, able to step up into the pocket, and when King got inside positioning on Martinez, that's when he was able to present that big body target for Stephen Calvert.
Good tackle in the backfield. Matthews with the carry. Tamir Berry up to make this stop. Shot out of a cannon from the corner position.
off of that corner spot, came in, and both he and Kamau Dumas aren't afraid to stick the head in and make tackles in run support.
2nd down and 12. Calvert giving to Matthews. Matthews, the 4th of the 4 backs. Wasn't really expected to see a significant time here. That might be an indication that the offensive coaches for Liberty a bit unhappy with the trio of Mosley, Hickson, and Macon.
Yeah, but when Matthews has played, he's produced. Over 7 yards a carry. Had a great game a couple of games ago, and talking to the folks with the Liberty program, they want to see more out of Kentori Matthews from Blinn Junior College.
Less than 6 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Calvert, shotgun snap. Pumps once, throws right, through the arms of Gandy Golden, incomplete. Interesting spot of the field at the 43-yard line. If you're a Liberty team, do you think about going for it? The decision quickly made by Turner Gill.
Monmouth's defense gave up some yardage in the middle of the field, but then they solidified. You know, they've been pretty solid since allowing that long touchdown play to B.J. Farrow.
Dumas waiting at the 10. A lot of hang time into this one. Dumas running away from it, and it will go out of the back of the end zone. Monmouth will send the offense back on. Hawks with a comfortable 28-13 lead here in the 2nd quarter.
From 2 stories to 20. From ready apps to emergency response. From your community to a nationwide network. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVE-PRO. Everything under your roof, everyone under ours. Helping to make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
First Monmouth, then the entire Jersey Shore. Now, World Subaru is proud to announce being the #1 Subaru dealer in all of Central and South Jersey for a 3rd year in a row. Oh, by the way, we're the most loved Subaru dealer too. That's because our exclusive VIP program includes free oil changes, tire rotations, loaner cars, car washes, and much more. Congratulations, Monmouth University, on 25 years of Monmouth football. Here's to a great season from all of us at World Subaru. WorldSubaru.com.
Well, we say hello from inside our broadcast booth here. Homecoming day at Monmouth University. Eddie Occhipinti, Matt Harmon. Eddie, you think both of these teams statistically have been able to move the football? Liberty, 239 yards of offense, most of that through the air. Monmouth, though, a dominant rush game today. Most of their 229 coming on the ground.
Yeah, Matt, they're doing it on the ground, and it's this veteran offensive line that is doing such a great job in this game. They are opening up huge holes in that Liberty front seven to allow Monmouth's stable of backs, and so far today, it's been Guerrero and Zakori that have really shown out.
Guerrero gets the carry there. That was his 8th of the day. Zakori, 5 carries so far today, 82 yards, had the 35-yard touchdown run. He has a pair on the ground. Lonnie Moore off that reverse has a touchdown, and Guerrero's biggest impact in the game came on the special teams play. He had that 95-yard kickoff return. He'll stay in here with 5 to go. That's Clark in motion. Power sweep off the right side. Guerrero to the 30-yard line. That's going to be enough for the first down. That's been the ingredients for success. So you're talking about Monmouth, 2 plays pretty much max to be able to get a first down. Sometimes they've only needed 1.
How much of an advantage does that give the play caller? Does that give the offensive coaching staff, Matt, with just what they're able to do? When you know you can turn, hand it, and you're gaining 5, 6, 7 yards a clip, it's that ultimate kind of security blanket that you can kind of lean on. And that group, which all came back from a season ago, those 5 offensive linemen, they've been really the team MVP up to this point.
Another 1st and 10. Bahar airing it out. Too much for Reggie White Jr. Before that play, here's a number that's staggering. Monmouth had run 28 total plays. They've got already 13 first downs, so you're pretty much talking every 2 plays you're getting a first down. They've only had 3 third downs all game long.
And what's crazy is Liberty's ran it well, too. Over 5.5 yards a carry in this game. A lot of that from Carrington Mosley, but they did it early. Monmouth has really stuck to it. They've got more than 100 rushing yards in comparison to Liberty. Already 180 on the ground, averaging, Matt, over 10 yards a carry.
2nd down and 10 here for Monmouth. Bahar lets it go. Short pass. Grasso able to keep his feet. Grasso slips a tackle near midfield and runs it into Liberty territory. Grasso made a great catch, number 1, did a better job of making sure his knee didn't touch the ground when he went down to get it.
He's so hard to put on the ground. He's so hard to tackle. He's hard to find. It's a great catch, and then look at the strength. Able to keep his feet, scoop by 1 player, and then he's running downfield with his center, Alex Thompson, for the first down.
Another first down conversion for Monmouth. Their 14th first down of the day. A lot of it has been up front. Guerrero this time in trouble and will get dropped. That is Corbin Jackson up from his linebacker spot. It was an extremely important tackle and play for Liberty. It'll be a loss of 4 to set up a 2nd and 14.
And we just got done saying that Monmouth is picking up 8, 9 yards every time they run the football. How that makes it easier on your play calling and on what you're doing offensively. Well, that's a big time play for Liberty. Dropping them for a loss, like you said, Matt, now 2nd and almost 15. So Monmouth behind the chain. Nice job by the Flames up front.
Liberty showing pressure. Play clock to 2. Bahar wanting a timeout. I think he got it just in time. He was communicating with his center, Alex Thompson, trying to make sure that the coverage in terms of blitz pickup was where they wanted it to be. So the Hawks will use a timeout. They've got 1 remaining. You know, the story here for Monmouth, that he would obviously, with 2:51 and a 28-13 lead, they'd love to be able to just bleed this clock out in the end of this first half, maybe tack on 7 more, 3 more at the worst, and just take the momentum into the locker room.
You and I have been on a couple of Monmouth broadcasts this season where we saw that. They did it in that Week 2 win against Lehigh, and the Mountain Hawks have now gone off, and they're having a successful season in the Patriot League. They did it in their win out at Bucknell. That's been Monmouth's, Matt, kind of mode that they've done this season. That's been their MO. They want to go out, get a lead, start fast, and then lean on the offensive line and that stable of backs. That's what makes this rushing attack so dangerous. They're not relying on 1 running back. The fact they can give it to 2, 3, 4 players, and then Kenji Bahar can contribute. They get some receivers running the ball. You have fresh legs coming at you all game.
Yeah, Bahar hasn't had to do much today. He is 6 of 13, 83 yards. It's because the ground game has been so good.
I'll never use the phrase game manager. I think it's ridiculous. But all Kenji Bahar has to do is run the offense, and that's what he's doing. Playing mistake-free football so far this afternoon.
On the ground here, Guerrero. Big hole that gets closed, but not before it's a gain down to the 41-yard line. Got 9. Bring up 3rd down and 5.
And a lot of that damage has been done right in between the guards. In between Wetzel, Thompson, and Riggy for Monmouth up front.
Liberty desperate for a stop. This is just the fourth third down of the whole half for Monmouth. They're 1 of 3. Guerrero stretching right side, turns up, big hole, there he goes again. 20, 15, 10, 5, nobody's gonna catch him, and he is into the end zone for a rushing touchdown, his 6th of the year, his 2nd today. 41 yards on the ground for Pete Guerrero. We said it's dangerous. If he turns upfield, nobody's catching him.
No one's going to catch him. It's that simple. He's got game-changing speed. So when you put him back with tremendous wheels behind a good offensive line, well, that's a dangerous combination. Monmouth up to Matt over 220 yards on the ground already.
35-13. The offense on full display. Eddie with this one.
The offensive line is just clearing massive holes. Thompson in front. The players leading the way. Guerrero able to put the head down and get in. A great look, a great block. It was Riggy that was leading the way as well. And once Guerrero gets a step on you, you're just not going to catch him. He did it on the 95-yard kickoff return. He did it there. He's hugging his offensive line. I'll tell you what, they have more than earned their keep in this first half as they paved the way for 4 rushing touchdowns and a team that's averaging over 11 yards a carry. That's unheard of.
Listen, his story has been fun to talk about. Pete Guerrero, he was a guy last year that was running track for Monmouth, not even on the football team. And then you think what he did right away. Had 189 yards against Lehigh, had a great performance in the season opener against Lafayette. Little bit nicked up the last couple of weeks. Probably the bye week for a player like that came at the perfect time.
Well, it came at a great time, right? It's his first year back to football. He was a tremendous high school football player. But this was his first time now to get that break, to kind of exhale a bit. And that came at a huge time. You know, whoever made the schedule for Monmouth knew what they were doing. Your non-league schedule, a bye week, and then your league schedule. And this Big South has been, Coach Kevin Callahan told us during the week, Matt, it's a gauntlet. And he is right, it's a very good league. But this Monmouth team, which is right on the outside of the top 25, is putting forth a performance in the first half here that proves to a lot of people they are among the top 25 teams in FCS football.
Well, and it's the first time in the better part of 6 weeks that Monmouth is actually home. They had wins over Lafayette and Lehigh to open, then played 4 games in a row on the road, a bye last week, back here today with Liberty. Calvert back to work, throwing over the middle. That's deflected down and then grabbed, picked up by Cooper off a deflected ball. Looked clearly incomplete.
Well, the Liberty coaches are mad that there wasn't pass interference called, and it did look like the defender got there a little early. So we could look at the whole thing here. Calvert has a ton of time to throw the football. He's going to drive it downfield, and it does look like Mike Basile gets there maybe a little early. Let's see, 1 deflection. They're going to take a look at this play, and I think they're going to take a look, Matt. We're going to do it as well. So if we could go and cue that up again and try to see what happened. So they're going to go to the monitor.
I think you're going to see it hit the ground before it hits the foot of a Monmouth defender right there. Bounces off the turf. You can see the black pellets pop up.
Yep, that does hit the turf. That real time probably thought it hit off one of the players' feet because the second deflection and then DeJuan Cooper, no pick, but yep, real quick. So there you go. It was handled. Our crew is 2 times now had to go to the replay, and both times got it right, so kudos to them.
It will be ruled an incompletion, and it will set up a 2nd and 10.
Liberty with a couple of timeouts. Actually, they have, I believe, all 3. So, Matt, they could make some hay here with 1:49 to go.
Calvert, straight drop. Over the middle. Has a man. The catch is made by Cephas Reddick. He's the fourth of this dynamic wide receiver core. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Reddick, a redshirt junior from Woodbridge, Virginia.
The coaches love Cephas Reddick. And talking to Turner Gill and his offensive coordinator, Joe Daly, during the week, they really like what he brings to the team.
Calvert going to let this one fly. Near side, going up and high pointing the football was B.J. Farrow. Dynamic catch. Used all 6'2" of his frame to outleap Kamau Dumas.
I love that throw from Calvert. You know you got a guy on the outside who's a dude, and throw it up to him and let him go make a play. Dumas, who has really good ball skills as a cornerback, not much he can do when the 6'2" B.J. Farrow goes high to make the catch.
Calvert in a rhythm right now. Over the middle, that catch is made by Reddick, who's into the end zone for a Flame touchdown. That did not take long at all.
39 seconds, partner. They go right down the field. Last week, they fell behind huge to Kennesaw State and came back with a rally. Well, maybe they've started the rally today a little earlier. They waited until the fourth quarter to get rolling in that game. We're not even at halftime. And this game has had big play after big play.
Going to go for two here. They'll bring two receivers off to the right side. Mosley leading the way for Calvert, trying to stretch the play. Throws. This one is deflected out at the last second. Big hit by Aroha, able to jar the football left. 4-play, 75-yard drive. You said they love Reddick. They get him involved here.
Well, they have so many interchangeable parts at the wide receiver position that they can use. You know, you've got Gandy Golden and Farrow, a couple of big bodies on the outside, but I didn't even mention their leading receiver, Damian King, or Cephas Reddick, who's more of a, again, middle of the field, slot kind of guy. This game is not over by a long stretch. If anything, Matt, Monmouth's going to have to lean on that offensive line to keep the football away from Liberty in the second half.
That last two-point conversion keeps it at 35-19. You'll see good stick right at the end there from the senior Agbai Aroha, able to jar the football loose from Kentori Matthews. And if you're the Monmouth defense, Eddie, okay, you're up, and you're up pretty good. 35 before it was that last touchdown. 4 plays, 75 yards in 51 seconds. That's just not good enough.
No, well, you've got to at least force Liberty to make a first down or two and maybe make some tackles and plays, but they hit the big play to Farrow, and then they get that pass right down the middle. Stephen Calvert right now looks like, Matt, when a basketball player hits 2 shots in a row, he wants the ball back. That's Calvert. He wants the football.
Scooped up by Lonnie Moore inside his own 5. Will take it out over the 30 to 31. See how adventurous this Monmouth offense is with 65 seconds remaining. 35-19, Hawks lead.
Well, here's the crazy thing about that. They're getting 11 yards every time they run the football. They could run it 4 times and get in the field goal range with what they've been able to do. These two teams have similar yards. Liberty 314, Monmouth 309. Listen to the contrast. Liberty's thrown for 236. Monmouth has run for 226. Each team playing to their respective strengths so far.
Liberty will bring 4 to the line of scrimmage for Bahar. On 1st and 10 from the pocket. Throws. Catch is made by Lonnie Moore, who originally looked like he had slipped coming back to the football, but does make the catch in front of Jeremy Peters.
A lot of room on the outside. Monmouth almost one throw to midfield. Has a Corey in the flat, but a long throw to Moore, who's a really good young player, and he's able to secure the catch.
Eric Sikori checking back in. Monmouth does have 1 timeout remaining. 4 receiver set. Bahar lets it go too high for Reggie White Jr.
A lot of time, though. Monmouth shouldn't be in any hurry. 55 seconds to go. Bahar not able to squeeze it between corner and safety on that throw, but still a lot of time. And like you said, partner Monmouth with, I believe, the 1 timeout. But I wouldn't want to give it back to Stephen Calvert and Liberty if I'm Kenji Bahar and Monmouth.
On 2nd and 10 Liberty has 5 up around the line of scrimmage, the 4 linemen plus Solomon McGinty. Empty backfield set now for Bahar. He's going to throw again. Trying to elude the rush. As he's being tackled, he finds Reggie White Jr., who will weave through some traffic and get out of bounds. How about that for Kenji Bahar? I believe it was Juwan Wells who was draped over the back of the sophomore quarterback.
It was, and Wells is a good player. There's another guy with pro aspirations, but Bahar was just strong enough to get it over to White Jr. You saw Bahar, the junior from Georgia, that kind of led that play off. Matt, he is a terror off the edge.
It stops the clock with 44.7, 3rd and 3. So the run game comes back into play here for Monmouth. Stand-up defensive line. Bahar under pressure, letting it go, hanging in the air. Wanted more. It is knocked down. Great defensive play by the sophomore corner, Jimmy Fox.
We mentioned his teammate, Cephas Reddick, who the coaches love. Well, Jimmy Fox has played really good football, and another guy that the defensive coaches are very high on. And Robert Wimberly, in his press conference during the week, was singing the praises of what he's been able to do. That's a huge play. Monmouth hit the play to White Jr., they hit the play to Moore, and they got over midfield, and now Liberty coming up with a stop. So after falling behind again, they go score, stop, and Matt, we could potentially have a brand new game, and we'll see how adventurous Liberty wants to get with a couple of timeouts.
White trying to hang it in the air. Farrow back. He will make the catch and run himself out of bounds at the 11-yard line. 31.7. Liberty needed only 51 to go down the field last time for their last touchdown.
I'm trying to recall, partner, remember who gets the ball after halftime?
Monmouth.
All right, so there you go. So maybe knowing that, maybe Liberty tries to hit something here.
Yeah, because Liberty took the opening kickoff and went right down the field.
They went right down the field, that's right. And then Monmouth had a kick return for a touchdown by one of that coach's gentlemen. Sam Dorsett is the running back coach here at Monmouth, and he watched Pete Guerrero take one to the house.
Calvert working here from a pistol set. On the ground, Liberty will keep it. It is Mosley to slam his way forward, and it looks like Liberty will be content to let this game get its way to halftime. And if you're Monmouth, I think you're okay with that.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. The way that Liberty ended the half, Calvert starting to heat up, 236 yards and a couple of touchdowns. It's been the ground game of Monmouth and the air attack of Liberty. Matt, I think we're in for an exciting second half.
Well, we've got a ton of stuff coming up for you at halftime. We'll look at the reigning players of the week in the Big South. We'll have standings, stats, highlights, the latest edition of Hawks 360, which follows an in-depth look of the Monmouth football program. 35-19, half down, half to go.
The Hardee's Sausage and Egg Biscuit. Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
The running of the Bulldogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico.
The Hardee's Sausage and Egg Biscuit. Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
we were allowed to show 360.
It is a packed house today on a beautiful October Saturday afternoon. It is homecoming at Monmouth University, and the Hawks trying, Eddie, to kick off their Big South schedule with a win, and right now keep pace with Kennesaw and Charleston Southern.
Yeah, the Buccaneers matter in a transition as well with a new coaching staff and everything that's going on there. The two games in Big South play up to this point, Kennesaw with a win over Liberty. That was 42-28. That Charleston Southern win over Presbyterian, the exact opposite, a 7-0 win for CSU.
Next week, Monmouth will open up their road play within the league. They will be down at Charleston Southern, a team that they have had a lot of problems with since coming into the league. But what we've seen so far, this is a different Hawk football team, and you can see what's coming up on the out-of-town scoreboard. North Alabama, which will join the league in 2019. Their game against Central Washington at 3 o'clock. Savannah State, Charleston Southern at 6. Gardner-Webb and Kennesaw, the only other in-league game of the week.
Yeah, outside of the game that we have here this afternoon with Monmouth and Liberty. You know, Kennesaw, Matt, is just a very young program, and they've got playoff aspirations. Amazing the job that Brian Bohannon and crew are doing down in Atlanta.
We'll take a timeout here. When we come back, we'll throw you into that Hawks 360. Fantastic look inside the Monmouth football program.
This is where heart rules height. Where teamwork triumphs and hard work reigns supreme. This is what happens when a hunger for success meets a relentless drive to be great. This is where nothing is given and excellence is earned. This is the Big South, where winners are made.
And it's game on, 4th and 18. Friends rushing the party in under an hour. Supermom's headed for the snack aisle. Ooh, this one's a scramble. It's all come down to this. Look at that air. She's got it. And there's that signature double pour. Crisp chips, crunchy pretzels. This crowd's gone crazy.
We did it, honey. Best party ever.
Yeah, we did it.
Let's go for the glory.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
foot to be improved a little bit. See how it's just coming up and coming down, the right foot. And get downhill a little bit more, but I like this one arm. Got good pop on Charles. See that? Got that pop, you knock him back a little bit, gotta pop your hip now, keep your feet on, running. Keep running.
The team kicks off homecoming week by connecting with students and fans on campus.
Ice pops and posters. You get an ice pop with a poster. Ice pops. Ice pop poster. Grab it. Hey, see you guys Saturday, right? 1 o'clock. Ice pop and poster.
Everyone's having fun. You know, everyone's having fun out here, talking with people, chatting up, out here throwing T-shirts at kids across the student center. So everyone's having a good time, just making the best out of it, and getting everybody excited for what should be a great game on Saturday.
You good? You got the camera on?
You know, they're a really good team, and we're going to need all the fan support we can get, and it's going to be, it should be a lot of fun Saturday. So we're here, you know, giving out some free T-shirts, some posters, getting people excited to come on Saturday.
1, 2, 3. How would you like a shirt or a poster? We have a homecoming game
big game on
Saturday.
Are you covered?
Can you come, please?
Nice spot. We're going to get that done on Saturday. We'll take a poster too. Ice pop, anyone?
If you actually talk to someone face to face, maybe they'll, you know, actually see, oh, like, I want to go see that person play, or I made a connection with that person, like, I definitely want to go see him on Saturday. So I thought that definitely helps, and it should be a fun one on Saturday.
Before jumping into conference play, the team reflects on the past 6 games.
Well, we're all happy to be 5-1, obviously. We did a good job in non-conference play, and coming off a bye week, you know, we're really excited to start playing conference opponents, and Liberty opens that up.
Well, I think there's a buzz going around campus right now. You know, I really like the approach that the team is taking to this season. You know, we're focusing on 1 week, 1 game at a time, and that's been something that, you know, I think our guys have really bought into. We worry about the opponent, that whoever it is this week, we want to be 1-0 on Saturday, and that's the approach that we started the season with. And week after week, we've kind of followed that same philosophy.
Like today, we just focus on being the best we possibly can each and every practice, and then just hoping that carries over to the game. And just trusting the process, and all the hard work will pay off.
Last year, we had high expectations of the year, and after a loss to Criterion, a lot of the teams' morale dropped. So this year, we're taking a new approach. Go game by game, play by play.
I mean, just in general, being 5-1 in the season was a huge accomplishment, so I'm happy with that. And going into, I mean, at this point, now we're just all excited to go into conference play and to really see how we can improve from last year, which I think we all are disappointed with how the season turned out last year in the Big South. So that's definitely something that's going to fuel our fire.
Oh, of course. I mean, we're 5-1. The defense has been playing great lately, so can't complain. People are very excited, you know, because this is best we've been in a while, we think.
I think the first one that comes to mind is a Hampton game. It was a game that we went down there and, you know, fell behind early and really had to fight and scratch and show a lot of grit to get back in that game.
We really had to persevere. You know, the defense had to step up a little bit. Offense had to get things going.
It was kind of like we bend but don't break, so we went into overtime, and we really wasn't the game we were expecting. So we came close. It came to the very end, overtime, but just doing what we know how to do, we just came out with the win.
You know, we really had to really dig down and play for each other in that game, and I think our team came a lot closer as a result of that game. And unfortunately, we were able to come away with a win, but I think it showed a lot about the character of this team.
Well, right now, our main focus is Liberty, but I mean, ultimately, it's the division championship.
Big South is a whole new different ball game. I feel like size is bigger, speed's faster. Everything comes at you a lot faster, so everything you could get away with in the non-conference games, you probably won't be able to in the Big South.
Well, you know, once you get into Big South play, you're really entering the gauntlet. Every week is a tough quality opponent. Every week is somebody that, you know you're going to get their best effort. And, you know, the caliber of play, the caliber of coaching, the caliber of the athlete in the Big South is different than maybe from some of our non-conference opponents that we've played. So we know we're going to get a great effort from a Liberty team. We know we're going to have to be at our best to have success on Saturday.
The competition is about to just skyrocket, so we really need everything we can to give ourselves the best chance.
The energy around the locker room, the meetings and practices is just, you know, it's at an all-time high right now. You know, we haven't really started out like this in a while, and we know we got something special this year. So, again, we just cannot wait to play against Liberty.
Oh, you want a poster?
Oh, no thanks.
Oh, but you can.
Cut.
Cut.
That's cut.
Homecoming, get ready.
Let's get it, baby.
Get ready. Get ready, because if you don't, I'll make sure you know.
See you there. See you there.
What's the Big South?
It's our home.
Our home.
Rooted in excellence.
Built
From hard work.
It's our backbone.
An undeniable will.
Driven to surpass our potential. It's our heart.
unbreakable bonds.
And our journey. Striving for more.
Determined to lead.
Day in
and day out.
This is the Big South, where winners are made.
NCAA Division I FCS football is a game of perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship. As he works to honor the game, every FCS student-athlete grows in his responsibilities as a student and as a member of his campus and community. Dedicated to personal growth and success in the classroom, the NCAA Division I FCS, every down, every day.
This Big South Network game is brought to you in part by Phillips Lighting, official campus lighting partner of the Big South Conference. By Sunbelt Rentals, we have equipment for that. And by Marriott, the official hotel partner of the Big South Conference. We are back here getting set for the start of the second half, but before we do, we've got some highlights and we'll look at some of the stats, the key matchups of that first half. Monmouth leading by a score of 35-19. Pete Guerrero, 117 yards. Kenji Bahar, 8 of 17 for 104 yards. Eddie, it's been a very efficient day offensively for this Monmouth team.
Oh, Matt, they've been really able to do whatever they want, and a lot of that's been on the ground, averaging over 11 yards a carry, keyed by the return of Pete Guerrero, but Eric Zakori's having a strong first half as well, with 82 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And Stephen Calvert's been very good for Liberty as well. He's missed on a couple of passes, and then when he does, Matt, he's missed high. But you know what? He's making plays down the field with 236 yards and a couple of scores.
It's been a balanced game offensively. Both teams over 300 yards. Monmouth 330, Liberty 315. It was the Flames who got off to a fantastic start. They took the opening kickoff, went right back down, but that was the answer for Monmouth and a real turning point in this game.
It really did spark things as Guerrero went 95 yards on his first touch of the football to the house. He's added over 100 on the ground. Monmouth as a team has rushed for 226 yards. Lonnie Moore got into the act with a nice block and a good burst of speed to get into the end zone. The Liberty's made some big plays in the passing game as well. Long touchdown to B.J. Farrow, and they've shown that they can be explosive when they need. No doubt, partner, we're in for a really good second half between these two.
Monmouth football, when we return, the offense has been on full display here so far. 35-19, Hawks lead.
From 2 stories to 20. From ready apps to emergency response. From your community to a nationwide network. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVE-PRO. Everything under your roof, everyone under ours. Helping to make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
First Monmouth, then the entire Jersey Shore. Now, World Subaru is proud to announce being the #1 Subaru dealer in all of Central and South Jersey for a 3rd year in a row. Oh, by the way, we're the most loved Subaru dealer too. That's because our exclusive VIP program includes free oil changes, tire rotations, loaner cars, car washes, and much more. Congratulations, Monmouth University, on 25 years of Monmouth football. Here's to a great season from all of us at World Subaru. WorldSubaru.com.
An entertaining first half. Hopefully we have the same thing for the second half. 35-19, Monmouth on top. Susie Milano had a chance to check in with both Turner Gill and Kevin Callahan.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, after chatting with both coaches at halftime, Coach Gill for Liberty said he loves those big plays, but he does want to see them be a little bit more consistent on offense, and he also wants to see them averaging a few more yards on that first down. And defensively, plain and simple, they need to do better tackling. And for Monmouth, Kevin Callahan loves his run game right now. Very, very explosive. And on defense, he wants them to stop giving up those big plays through the air. Back to you guys.
The big plays have certainly been a turning point for both of these teams. And hey, look at some of the touchdowns. Guerrero, the 95-yarder. Zakori, 25-yard touchdown run. 76 yards, B.J. Farrow from Calvert. Zakori, 35. Guerrero, 41. Reddick, 23. We haven't had these long, sustained drives. A lot of them have been quick-hitting type plays.
Yeah, you take a look at the time of these drives, Matt. No scoring drive in this game has taken longer than 4.5 minutes. So these sides are going, they're going fast. It's made for an exciting game. I hope you got the DVR running. I hope you got the highlights up and rolling here with us on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app, because it has been exciting.
Monmouth will get the second half kickoff. Alex Probert set to kick off from the 35-yard line. He will squib it and will make the second level and be down quickly at the 26-yard line. The Monmouth offense, which had 330 yards of total offense in that first half, 104 off the arm of Kenji Bahar, 226 on the ground, and really a two-pronged attack of Pete Guerrero, had 117. Eric Zakori with 82. The two have combined rushing the football for 3 touchdowns.
Biggest thing I'm going to keep an eye on, Matt, and talking to Turner Gill during the week, he was, I guess the best way to put it is, insistent on his team making adjustments after halftime when they fall behind and getting back in games. And I want to see what adjustments this Liberty team came out of the locker room with, whether it's committing more men into the box, whether it's just trying to coach them up and tackle a little bit better, because Monmouth really gashed them in the first half on the ground.
Well, they had 4 linemen that time, and they brought 2 linebackers out of straight run blitz. Solomon McGinty, the outside linebacker, was able to make the tackle, a converted safety from a year ago. Second down and 10. No gain on that first carry from Guerrero. White will motion out of the backfield. He did that in the first half, and Monmouth was able to find him the football. They'll find him the football again here. 31-yard line. Makes the catch. Tiptoes the sideline at midfield. Looking to cut back in Liberty territory. And finally dragged down by McKinney with a backside tackle inside the Flame 40 to the 39. Almost the same exact play we saw Monmouth run in the first half.
Well, this time you get Reggie White Jr. again, matched up one-on-one, and he's able to make one guy miss. Now, it's singled up, and it's man on the outside because the Flames blitzed. So when you blitz, it's cover 0, no one over the top. Reggie White has to make one guy miss, and he did for the big gain.
It was Brandon Tillman, the sophomore strong safety, who had the coverage. Hawks back in business here, moving the football. Powell in the backfield. Bahar wanting to throw, looking over the middle, crossing pattern set up for Grasso, incomplete. And it will bring up a 2nd and 10.
Grasso's a good player, but you can get a good kind of perception of where I'm going with this point. Not the tallest player in the world, listed at 5'7", so Bahar missed a little high. And we've seen Grasso in games this season make huge plays and not be afraid to go up and challenge. But that one a bit too far out of the reach.
Clark, the tight end, to the left, joined by Powell, who will set the edge off the left side. Here is Guerrero running through tackles again. Guerrero down inside the 20-yard line. He's finally dragged down. It has been amazing to watch this Monmouth rushing attack today. You're talking about an easy 10 yards minimum per carry.
Every time they run the football. And again, it's nothing fancy. It's not the triple option. It's not misdirection. It's not a quarterback who's running for 150 yards. It's a stable of running backs behind a good and physical offensive line, just imposing their will on the Liberty defense.
Ball right now at the Flame 18-yard line. This is the opening drive of the second half. Clark motioning across. Guerrero going to try the right side. Runs through one tackle. Cuts back. Far side hash mark. Inside the 10. Gets down close to the 8. Another 10 yards. Everyone running the football today for Monmouth has at least a 10 yards per carry average.
It's an amazing statistic. And then when one guy gets tired, you can bring in another one. It's not just the offensive line doing the job, Matt. It's the wide receiving core. And you'll see way to the right there, number 9, Reggie White Jr., right next to Russ Clayton and Pete Riggy, help springboard another first down on the ground and 1st and goal coming up.
Zakori checking in to give Guerrero a quick blow. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Zakori stepping up to the right of Bahar. Wants to throw. Fade pattern set up for Reggie White Jr. Has it. This will be a touchdown for Monmouth. Simultaneous possession as both players hit the end zone. Bahar lofting it up for his big 6'3" target, and Reggie White Jr. with the touchdown reception.
It was delayed, but the home crowd likes the end result. That was a good one-on-one battle on the outside. Liberty singling up with Reggie White Jr., and he went up, made the play, and then everyone has to hold their breath to see what happens when the players go to the ground, and White Jr., the one that came away with it. He's also having a pretty big game this afternoon.
Referee holding things up. They are taking another look at it. It will be ruled as a Monmouth touchdown. That's a good opening drive for the Hawks. They go above the 40-point mark. Here's Mosquera on for the extra point. Able to tack it on to make it 42 for Monmouth. The Hawks had 47 in a Week 2 win over Lehigh. They are well on their way to eclipsing that.
This rushing attack's been good, but Monmouth can also go to the air as Bahar finds his big target, Reggie White Jr., who wrestles it away for the touchdown.
There was a flag that was thrown. It's an unsportsmanlike call against Monmouth, so it'll be marched off on the kickoff. Manny Christian, the sophomore lineman, get called for that.
The Hardee's Sausage and Egg Biscuit. Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
The running of the Bulldogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico.
The Hardee's Sausage and Egg Biscuit. Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
Good drive for Monmouth to tack another touchdown on the board. Hawks taking the opening second half kickoff, moving right down the field, Eddie, resulting in this touchdown.
Reggie White Jr., 6 grabs, 89 yards, and this touchdown, the coverage is really good, and it was just out muscling as he gets the ball ripped out of the arms of Turner for that touchdown. But Matt, that was just a tough break for Chris Turner. That was really good coverage.
This is returnable for Liberty, especially after the 15-yard penalty. Out to the 35-yard line goes Hickson. Good special teams coverage down the field. Christian Runza working down there. Now all of a sudden, Eddie, you're a Liberty offense where every time you come on, yeah, they've been able to put points on the board, but now you're down 42-29. You almost feel like you've got to score every time you touch the football.
Well, there's no room for error, right? And maybe even forcing a turnover has to be in their cards because they've got to generate extra possessions. Also, look for Liberty to go extra fast. There's 11:57 to go in the third. There is a lot of time left, but Liberty has put itself really behind the 8 ball.
Calvert, little play action. He is going to loft it down the field. Jump ball, almost intercepted. Teddy Martinez was the closest man to it. Martinez among the league leaders in interceptions with 4 on the year. Could have very easily had his 5th. He's pointing up. He might have lost that in the sun a bit.
No, Stephen Calvert, we saw him do this in the first half as well on a near side play to B.J. Farrow, but he likes his one-on-one matchup, so he puts extra air under this. Doesn't drive the football, really wants his receiver to settle under it. Good coverage by Dumas, and Martinez looking for interception number 5, but he wasn't able to corral it.
Gandy Golden had to turn defensive back to knock it away from Martinez. 2nd down and 10. Option for the first time today. Calvert will keep it on the ground. He will have a first down and more. First time we've seen that little wrinkle in the Liberty offense. It was Calvert's first carry of the afternoon. And he will move the ball into Monmouth territory at the Hawk 49.
Yeah, not someone who's going to try to beat you with his legs. Looks pretty quick here, though. And mentioned it, he was a spread offense quarterback in high school. So he had to get moving a bit, and he looked pretty smooth there picking up the first down.
16-yard pickup. 1st and 10 for Liberty. Quick throw to the outside. Ball was deflected, was intended for Farrow. You know, that option makes me think for Monmouth, you better start practicing that. You're going to see Charleston Southern soon. You're going to see Kennesaw State soon.
You're going to see a heavy dose of it when you play those 2 teams. How about Tymir Berry blitzing off the corner spot and deflecting that ball away? But Matt, you're right. This Big South has a lot of teams that want to grind it out on the ground. We didn't even mention what Gardner-Webb has with their tremendous running game as well. And Monmouth, think about it. This is a league of teams that love to run it.
4-man pressure from Monmouth. Calvert has to move to his left. Intended target is Gandy Golden, who cannot hang on to it. He was very involved in the first drive for Liberty. Since that point, he's been held in check. 4 catches, 23 yards. We're talking about a Liberty trio of wide receivers that is all over the top 5. Throw in Reddick as a 4th option. He's in the top 10 in a lot of the statistical categories within the league. Calvert here on 3rd and long. Throwing over the middle, too far for King. You know, I think what you saw, Eddie, out of Liberty in that last series. The long throw downfield, another one there to King. And you look at the scoreboard, you're down 42-29, but you're not going to get it all back in one play. You got to just continue to run their offense, and they've had success beating Monmouth kind of over the middle on shorter routes.
Well, it hasn't necessarily been drop back, pray, and kind of throw it downfield, like running multiple plays like that. It, like you said, Matt, it's been precision. It's been moving the ball downfield, 7-8 yards a clip. Their passing attack has been very efficient in this game. Not so on that drive.
Turner, high arcing kick. Dumas will let it bounce, and it will be downed inside the 2, down to about the 1-yard line. Good job running downfield. Marquise Fitzgerald, the wide receiver, with the special teams play. Hawks first and 99 to go.
This is where heart rules height, where teamwork triumphs, and hard work reigns supreme. This is what happens when a hunger for success meets a relentless drive to be great. This is where nothing is given and excellence is earned. This is the Big South, where winners are made.
And it's game on, 4th and 18. Friends rushing the party in under an hour. Supermom's headed for the snack aisle. Ooh, this one's a scramble. It's all come down to this. Look at that air. She's got it. And there's that signature double pour. Crisp chips, crunchy pretzels. This crowd's gone crazy.
We did it, honey. Best party ever.
Yeah, we did it.
Let's go for the glory.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Monmouth backed up inside their own end zone area. 1st and 10 from the 1-yard line. Fantastic punt by Trey Turner, one of the better ones in the league. DeBell Jones will check in. He's the Monmouth short yardage back. He might try and bang his way forward and give Kenji Bahar a little breathing room. Play clock down to 5. Bahar wants to throw out of his end zone. He'll loft it up. Look for Reggie White Jr. This is hauled in and caught. Good coverage again on the outside for Chris Turner, who just got out-jumped and out-muscled. That looked like, to me, it was going to be a clear-cut interception.
Yeah, Turner had the inside position, and he looked like he was going to come down with the INT. But it was Monmouth's number 9 that came out with it. It's Reggie White, and he rolled over, made the catch. He has been winning the one-on-one battles on the outside all game long. It's been a tremendous compliment to this potent Monmouth rushing attack.
That is a 27-yard pitch and catch and gives the Hawks a lot of breathing room. Inside the carry will go here for Zakori. Gets forward to the 35-yard line. Gain of 7.
When this ball leaves Kenji Bahar's hands, Turner thinks he's got an INT the whole way, and he did initially. But he wasn't able to secure the catch, and it popped right into the stomach of Reggie White Jr., which gets it out of the shadow of Monmouth's end zone. And that's a very significant grab, Matt, for Reggie White Jr. We mentioned he might play on Sundays. Well, he just tied a guy who did play a long time on Sunday, Miles Austin, for a program record with that grab.
Another good-sized hole up the middle. Zakori will have a first down. In his career, that is the 150th career catch for Reggie White Jr. One more he would eclipse Miles Austin and move into third place all time. He still has 2 players to catch. Adam San Miguel, who played in the mid-2000s along with Miles Austin, has 194. Neil Sterling, who's an NFL-type wide receiver, tight end, he's got 212 catches. That's the all-time mark. First down and 10, 46-yard line. Zakori, big hole again. There he goes. He wants the triple today. Inside the 10, inside the 5. The ball popped out late, but he was already out of bounds. And a touchdown saving tackle was made by Turner.
This Monmouth offensive line and stable of backs has just, what more can you say about what they've been able to do? Alex Thompson leading the way, as he always does. Zakori right here, not sure if he wasn't expecting it to pop wide open like that, Matt, or maybe ran out of gas just a bit towards the end, but he got tracked down. He's nearing, and probably at this point well over 100, and he is. How about 150 for Eric Zakori?
Devell Jones in. Jones, the short yardage back, walks into the end zone untouched. His 8th rushing touchdown of the year on 29 carries, and Monmouth has blown this game wide open, leading 48-19.
Unbelievable what this Monmouth team is doing. Matt, they're averaging over 12 yards a carry. They're zeroing in on 330 yards on the ground. Yeah, they're one of only a handful of teams that runs it and throws it for over 200 a game in FCS football. They're over 500 yards middle of the third quarter. This is unbelievable.
Extra point tacked in, 49-19. Monmouth, a 30-point spread. The rushing attack continues. This is Devell Jones. He's got the 6 for the Monmouth, and the Hawks dominating.
This is where heart rules height, where teamwork triumphs, and hard work reigns supreme. This is what happens when a hunger for success meets a relentless drive to be great. This is where nothing is given, and excellence is earned. This is the Big South, where winners are made.
Supermom's headed for the snack aisle. Ooh, this one's a scramble. It's all come down to this. Look at that air. She's got it. And there's that signature double pour. Crisp chips, crunchy pretzels. This crowd's gone crazy.
We did it, honey. Best party ever.
Yeah, we did it.
Bucks go for the glory.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
You're watching the Big South Network Game of the Week, brought to you in part by Hardee's. Big South would also like to thank Geico, a contributing partner to the Big South Network. Well, Eddie, these teams have played 4 prior times. Monmouth has been on the other end of a couple of these games, including last year, 52-28. They lost that one, a 45-15 win for Liberty when these teams played in 2013. I'm not sure anybody expected what we're seeing right now.
I agree, partner. I don't think anyone saw this coming, especially a team as good as Liberty.
Hickson dropped the football inside the 5, then gets tripped up as he crosses over the 20-yard line. I mean, this was a back and forth, okay, a lot of points, shootout type game. Liberty has not been able to answer. Monmouth just dominating on the ground.
It's been all up front. It's been nothing fancy. It has been Monmouth's 5 offensive linemen and tight ends and receivers downfield, springing the way for 2 players that right now are dueling for Big South Player of the Week honors in Eric Zakori and Pete Guerrero, who have combined for 298 rushing yards between them.
On 1st and 10 for Calvert from the 21-yard line. Flips it far side. Catch is made by Antonio Golden Gandy. And that will bring the ball out over the 35 to the 37-yard line. Gain there of 16. Gandy Golden, who's been very quiet here in this second half, really since the first quarter. He'll get his hands on it again, and we'll get another first down into Monmouth territory. I guess the one good thing, you talk about Zakori and Guerrero vying for players of the week. One could get offensive player of the week, one could get freshman of the week.
Yeah, that's true. That flag will tack on to the end of that play. Zakori, the true freshman. Guerrero is a redshirt freshman, but wasn't on the roster, wasn't in the program last season. And they have both, they do it differently. They're very different running backs. And then you add in DeVell Jones. We haven't even seen Michael Jolly in this game, who is another explosive running back. And Matt, before you know it, you got to feed a lot of guys, and they're all getting their love and their carries.
Mosley running through a couple of tackles off on the left side. Now I think if you're Liberty, the mindset is got to be, we just got to try and get a little bit of positive momentum to take out of this game, as the Flames next week will be on the road at Gardner-Webb. Then they will finish with Duquesne Presbyterian at home, and then at Charleston Southern again. This is a team that we've talked about making the transition. They will be an FBS team playing as an independent.
Yeah, they'll make that move, and I know their schedules for the next few years are starting to take shape.
Mosley will be close to a first down on that 2nd and 5 carry. Some jawing back and forth.
Don't like to see that, ever. Really don't like to see it when it's 49-19.
Evan Powell, the sophomore linebacker for Monmouth, just came off. Looked like the right arm was kind of hanging a little bit. Referee still looking at it. They will, I think, give Liberty a first down.
No, they will. They'll move the chains.
Calvert now with 10 on the play clock. Looks right, wants to go left, lofting one down near the end zone. It's up and caught for a touchdown. Gandy Golden using all 6'4" of that frame, hopping over the top of a Monmouth defender. That will be a touchdown for Liberty.
And that was quick. Liberty went down the field. And why not? When you have a player as good as Antonio Gandy Golden, he was featured on that drive. Went all the way down the field. The nice throw, the better catch. And Liberty able to score. Remember, they mounted a furious comeback last week against Kennesaw State.
Extra point coming for Alex Probert. They did take a quick look at it just to make sure that Gandy Golden was able to fully possess it. That's his 6th receiving touchdown of the year. And the extra point is good to make it 49-26.
They've got a strong, big, athletic receiver outside. We'll throw it up to him. Stephen Calvert does just that. Dumas was in good position. Gandy Golden just went up over the top of him. Like you said, he used all 6'4" and good jumping ability to go up and make that catch. Calvert's got a good afternoon going. He's thrown for 290 and 3 scores. It's just that Monmouth has been so dominant running the football on offense.
And Dumas, who's had a really good year at corner, he's given away about 7-8 inches on that far side. If I was Liberty, I'd be looking at that all day long too.
Yeah, well, there's only so much he can do. And we saw it on the other way when Monmouth wants to feature Reggie White, and he's gone up a lot against Chris Turner in this game, and he's a big-bodied wide receiver. Most curious how teams like to exploit the matchup where you've got that big, physical, almost power forward-like receiver going up against a smaller defensive back. But right now, the key for both teams, and it's Monmouth keeping doing what, Matt, they've done, which is running the football, and Liberty's got to find a way to try and stop or at least slow down this Monmouth rushing attack.
Crazy as it seems, there's still 5:59 to go in the third quarter, plus the fourth. A lot of time left for both of these teams to get some points. 15-yard line picked up by Matt Castronova. Over the 30, then gets pushed out of bounds into the Liberty sideline. 25 years of Monmouth football. They've had one man run the show since the beginning. Kevin Callahan, hired in 1992, has put this program together, won the NEC 5 times, 3-time coach of the year when the Hawks were playing in the Northeast Conference. Looking for his 141st victory in his career. Guerrero, right side, back in. He'll get close to first down yardage again. And, you know, you think, Eddie, about Kevin Callahan. He's been among those who has said this program has kind of had to reinvent itself every couple of years. Started where they did, then joined the NEC, then started to add scholarships. Then we're an independent, now moving into the Big South, now more scholarships. Now the new stadium and the turf and the video board, which is brand new. It's almost just continuing to be a positive cycle in a lot of ways, but the stakes continue to go up as well.
Especially when you get to this level of play, and there is a player down on the field on the 35. It's, Matt, a constant evolution. It's a constant upward trajectory for Kevin Callahan, who, you mentioned it, the difference between the two coaches. He's only been at Monmouth, as far as being a head coach, spent some time before that. Turner Gill's in his 3rd assignment as a head coach. He was at Buffalo, and then he was at Kansas. So the